Hello and welcome to Catholic News Roundup. I'm Christine Niles. Today's December 12th, 2025. Here are this week's top stories. Chicago's governor is signing an assisted suicide bill into law on the feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe. Governor J.B. Pritzker signed into law the End of Life Options for Terminally Ill Patients Act, which allows patients to self-administer a lethal injection and end their lives. The law passed 30 to 27 in the Illinois Senate, with every yes vote coming from a Democrat. This comes mere weeks after Pritzker met with Pope Leo, saying the Pope's message, quote, of hope, unity, compassion, and peace resonates in his home state of Illinois and across the globe. John Yep, president of the group Catholics for Catholics, said, it is an insult and tragedy that on the feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe, who was known as the protector of life, and on the heels of a papal visit, Governor Pritzker has signed a pro-death measure into law that assaults the dignity of life and will only result in harm. A Boston priest is defying his archbishop. Father Stephen Josema, pastor of St. Susanna Parish in Dedham, put up a manger scene with a sign that reads, ICE was here, in protest of Trump's deportation policies. Following public backlash, the Boston Archdiocese clarified, quote, St. Susanna Parish neither requested nor received permission from the Archdiocese to place a politically divisive display outside the church. The display should be removed and the manger restored to its proper sacred purpose. The priest is refusing to take it down, instead requesting a personal meeting with the Archbishop. Father Josema has a history of using his nativity for political statements. One year he depicted the infant Jesus in a cage to criticize Trump's immigration policies. Another year, the Holy Family was drowning in water, a critique of climate change. President Trump issued a historic statement honoring the Immaculate Conception. On December 8th, the White House published a message noting, quote, for nearly 250 years, Mary has played a distinct role in our great American story, going on to note devotion to her by American saints Elizabeth Ann Seton and Francis Xavier Cabrini, as well as Venerable Archbishop Fulton Sheen. In one of the most profound and consequential acts of history, Mary heroically accepted God's will with trust and humility. Mary's decision forever altered the course of humanity. He closed his message with the Hail Mary. It's rare to non-existent for any U.S. president to formally publish such a deeply Marian message. In other Marian news, a group of Mariologists is pleading with Rome to reverse course. The International Marian Association, consisting of cardinals, bishops, clergy, religious and lay theologians, is asking the Holy See to reconsider its recent document, Mater Populi Fidelis, which discouraged use of the title Co-Redemptrix, saying it's always inappropriate. The group retorts, if the title Co-Redemptrix is always inappropriate or inopportune to use, then the popes who approved or used the title were acting in an inappropriate and imprudent manner. If it is always inappropriate to use the title, then the saints and mystics who used this title were irresponsible and inappropriate. The group argues that the Vatican is downplaying Mary's unique mediating role and urges the Holy See to reconsider. An aide to Pope Benedict is expressing hopes he will soon be beatified. Archbishop Georg Ganswein, secretary to the late pontiff, said in a December 7th interview, quote, personally, I have great hopes that this process will be opened, going on to note that Benedict's life was marked by joy in the faith and fidelity to Christ. Ganswein also lamented Pope Francis' decision to restrict the traditional Latin Mass, saying, I believe that Pope Benedict's wise decision was the right one, and this path should be continued without difficulty or restriction. During his pontificate, Benedict released a universal indult, allowing the traditional liturgy worldwide. Since Leo became Pope, he's shown signs of willingness to relax Pope Francis's restrictions. And turning to Niger State, 100 kidnapped children have been reunited with their families. This comes after a mass abduction of 315 students took place in late November, when armed gunmen stormed St. Mary's Catholic School in Papiri in the Diocese of Kontagora. Most of the students were 9 to 14 years old. Around 50 students initially escaped, while the fate of more than 160 captives remains unknown. It's believed they've been taken to neighboring Nigeria and held for ransom. Multiple mass abductions have occurred in November, including the capture of 24 Muslim schoolgirls. The kidnap for ransom crisis has generated nearly $2 million this year in Nigeria, with perpetrators often being Islamist militants. And in legal news, a Nevada court is rejecting an accused pedophile's plea. In late November, a trial court judge refused to throw out the indictment of Tom Alexandrovich, busted for trying to bed an underage girl. It turns out Alexandrovich is chief of Israeli cyber warfare, working with other countries' intelligence agencies and censoring content online critical of Israel. After being jailed, he posted bail and promptly flew back to Israel, leading to outrage among Americans accusing the federal government of intervening on his behalf, a charge the State Department denied. A blame game ensued between the U.S. Attorney General, Nevada's Attorney General, and the local prosecutor, while Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu denied that Alexandrovich had ever been arrested, a falsehood. If convicted, Alexandrovich would have to return to the U.S. to face prison time. That is this week's Catholic News Roundup. As a programming note, we'll be taking some much-needed family time, so Catholic News Roundup will return in the new year. Till then, wishing all of you a blessed Advent and a happy and holy Christmas. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe and warm, and may God bless you. I'm Christine Niles.